Alright, so this is a cold water scenario. I'm going to first check out the tactical map. I'm going to make a few changes to it. First of all, there's a submarine here, which is just a distraction. So I'm going to basically get rid of it.
Turn to course 115. Hell my.
Okay, and then I'm going to put it into a formation. And I'm going to basically ignore it because this would change the dynamics of it. So I do have 3 surveillance planes, but I'm going to assume I only have 1. So these are my surveillance planes. I'm going to put them all into one formation. And that gets rid of that. So I have only 1 surveillance asset. So the first thing I'm going to do is, because this scenario occurs in this area, so I know the threats are coming from here, which is the middle of the island chain. I am going to let me do a few drawings here. So my threats come from here, which is this island chain. Therefore, I am going to redirect these aircraft first of all to the max altitude, then I'm going to go straight through. So that redirects them to the most common area where I expect the threat to come from. Then the second thing I'm going to do, now that this is only one, this surveillance plane AEW group is basically one set of planes, so it doesn't have the required range. So what I'm going to do is loft 3 more aircraft sets, but these are going to be armed. So I'm going to go to my carrier. So I'm going to open the flight deck. I'm going to select some scout aircraft with anti-ship loadouts. I'm going to select them all and launch. So these will effectively be, oh, and the carrier is heading in the wrong direction, so I'm going to make it go here because I don't care about it that much, as long as it's somewhere close by. And then I'm going to make it really slow. So I'm going to change speed to ahead 1/3 because I'm not going to use the carrier battle group to do anything. I'm basically just going to use missiles mainly to inflict damage. And I don't care about anything else pretty much. You can see none of these aircraft are VTOL aircraft, but in this scenario it doesn't really matter. If I didn't have a carrier and I had something smaller with only VTOL capability, it wouldn't change the dynamics that much. So these are good to go. And what I'm going to do is engage all the sensors. There's my aircraft coming up through the elevators and taking off. If I look at the tactical map, what I'm going to do is start lobbing the aircraft towards my round area I've identified as my area of interest. So here's one point. I'm going to redirect the aircraft here, 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 and sort of spread out so we cover this whole axis. And then we'll see what we can find there. So my first aircraft is on station. So what I'm going to do is these aircraft need to go into highest altitude they can possibly go to maximize their fuel range. I'm going to use them for basically as trying to find targets, so surveillance aircraft essentially. So I'm going to do the maximum I can possibly do with these. And you can see the range is pretty good once they're above to the max altitude, because airplanes get more efficient the higher they go. So you want them as far as possible up in the sky. The second thing I'm going to do is form these up so they form a line pattern. So as they climb, they're all basically together. The whole idea of killing ships is to stay away from the ship weapons. So even if you're spotted, you want to be away from the weapons. But you also want to be in a position where you can fire your weapons. Second flight is on station. I do the same thing. I set the altitude to maximum possible. And you can see this is the range circle of the planes. As they climb, the range circle will increase. And there you go. You can see the range circle automatically calculates out. And the range has increased. So now my final two are, I believe, taking off right now. Yeah, that's the one that's still on the ground. On the carrier, basically. So once he gets airborne, and there you go, he's airborne. And I do the same thing, which is set altitude to max possible. And then we lob them across to the maximum possible. So now the other thing is that surface-to-air missiles have a hard time with either very low flying targets or very high flying targets, because they have to climb to the altitude before they can kill aircraft. So we basically also want to be as high and as efficient as possible to cover the maximum ground, but that also gives us an advantage, which is that surface-to-air missiles have a hard time finding you, because they need to climb 40,000 feet to basically get to any of these aircraft. But it's much better if the aircraft are basically invisible. So that's why stealth aircraft are so popular. Anyway, so in this case, we've got all our flights set up. I'm going to set them to line abreast. And they will start to, now we go back to our airborne early warning, and we see what's going on here. And I basically accelerate time because I've got nothing better to do. So you can imagine this as probably a couple of day patrol or whatever. And that's quite typical. Ocean surfaces are huge, and let's make this one into pressed.
New surface contact faded. Track multiple hostile surface contacts detected.
Alright, so now I've actually found targets of interest. So I'm going to find out what these are. I can see from EM emissions that they're hostile, but I don't know what they are exactly. So what I'm going to do is redirect these guys so we can always have airborne assets to keep an eye on them in the area.
Roger. Turn 312.
I don't know how close to go because they can kill me if they see me. I'm going to assume that they do see me, so I'm going to set a range marker. So I've identified this guy as a Kiev. So I'm going to set a marker on him, and then I know that my missiles have a range of 60 nautical miles. And I assume theirs also has a similar range. So I'm going to not let anything get closer than the circle. This is the circle of death, basically. So I want to avoid getting too close, but I want to be close enough so I can shoot without being shot at. So I will now set my early warning system
Roger. Turn 313.
to this position here, and then have it do some circling patterns to make sure that we always have a track on these guys. And the other thing I'm going to do is reduce fuel usage. So I'm going to make it really slow.
Roger. Lawyer.
So now I have my targets and I can kill them without them killing me. So I don't need to waste these flights on anything other than killing enemies. So I'm going to kill this entire formation, and you can see, let's get in closer, and you can see that these have basically their own fighter crews, and they have helicopters, and they have radars all functioning, and they have surface-to-surface missiles with a 300 nautical mile range, which is obviously very dangerous. So I want to kill this guy, and along with the rest of his friends, before he kills me. He's also got guns to go with it, and looks very intimidating, but realistically he can't shoot me, because he doesn't know where I am. All he can do is see my planes, which are not going to come close to him, so he just has to sit there, basically. So I'm going to redirect my flights to just punch a little bit through the bubble.
Roger, turn 318. Roger, turn 314.
And we're basically gonna sit back and enjoy life. There's nothing he can do to me. And until my planes get there, there's nothing I can do to him because my missiles are outranged. So we're gonna sit and just watch life go by.
Contact faded. Track.
You can see the symbols for aircraft. These two double circles and a dash. These are my aircraft and these are my jets. There are 3 sets of jets and one set of surveillance planes, prop planes basically. So I don't know what these are, but now I've got radar painting it, so I'm going to assume they're hostile because they're part of this formation. So let's have a look, see if we can see anything. No, we can only see the one because we've identified him.
Contact detected. Track 7011 is classified. Hostile warship.
Okay, so classified him from EM signatures as a hostile
Contact
warship.
faded. Track.
And we basically just wait. Since none of us can do anything to each other, we wait. In the meantime, my planes are circling him at a very far distance.
Track. Contact faded. Track.
And my missile carriers are coming in.
Contact faded. Contact faded. Track.
Now what I have on board these carriers is, let's take them closer, closer, closer. Okay, you can see some other parts of this formation now that we've identified a few. So let's go and see what we have in stock. So we've got harpoons, which are an old style surface air-to-surface missile, and these come in surface-to-surface variants as well. Modern missiles would not be easily detectable, but these are. And these have a range of 65 nautical miles. So I'm within the 60 nautical miles, accounting for altitude. So these missiles should have no problem hitting the targets. You can see they're basically all within range in a lot of ships. So what we're going to do is do a staggered approach. So I'm going to basically spread missiles all throughout all these ships. So there's less chance of one missile or one set of missiles being destroyed. So we're going to do a bit of a spread. So let me focus on my aircraft here. And these are basically missile carriers. I have no other use for them. So I'm going to enable all their surface search radars. This one should be already active because he's the formation leader. And then I'm going to just salvo it. Starting from, there you go. So I'm going to just salvo it. Salvo. And I salvo. And you can see my missiles are all going out. Therefore, I am going to ask it to return to base. And that is it, basically. We're going to just keep repeating the cycle away from range. And you can see our missiles are heading in, all hurtling towards the sea surface. Because these are terrain following missiles. So there they go, all of them. They're going to go about 9 feet above the sea surface. They aren't stealth missiles, so we can't hide them from the missiles fired by enemy ships, which are going to take them down. Best we can do is hug the surface of the ocean. And there they go. And there our airplanes are going back to base, so they no longer need to keep altitude. So there they go home. Right now Scout 9 flight is within the envelope, so we're gonna do the same thing with them. And we're going to select ships at random because we don't know which. There they go, and we're gonna do the exact same thing, which is go home, you've done your job. You're basically just lobbing missiles at the formation. And sure, you can prioritize targets. I like to spread them across the whole thing because it keeps the big ships distracted trying to cover for the small ships, and you're more likely to score hits on the bigger ships if you do that. So we are within range here as well. So all we're going to do is the exact same thing. I am going to enable my sensors just so the missiles have a good picture of what's on the surface before they're launched. You don't strictly need to do that because the leader will distribute the information, but it's nice to have a good idea. Alright, and then orders are returned to base. And we can see our missiles are going away, our planes are going away, everybody's happy. And we can see our missiles are shooting towards the targets. We can take a look at our first group, which by now should be pretty close to hitting the target. Sea skimmers are skimming 9 feet above the waves, so they will be detected at the last minute and intercepted. And advanced radar systems can track and shoot down missiles. You can see enemy missiles flying up to meet them, and then some will get through, some will not. And we can watch the fireworks. So you can see we did score some hits. Maybe fatalities, maybe not. You can see them throwing up chaff to avoid missile fire, present decoy targets. They're trying to and the next wave coming in, and this wave as well. Now you can see the ships burning off in the distance. So we've scored some hits. We may have scored some kills, we may not. But the whole idea is the first wave is just to deplete stores of surface-to-air missiles, which can kill these. And then as we keep shooting more and more into the formation, it'll get weaker and weaker. And you can see one ship is already ablaze and gone. So we've eliminated one target with our first wave, and our second wave is just inbound. This probably won't do anything much. There's only 4 missiles in this wave. And these are old style. So here we go. Old style shows up on radar, so they can be intercepted. The new ones, naval strike missiles particularly, don't show up on radar. So you can see them shooting pretty far out. So they have a good window to kill these. Again, the whole idea is deplete their weapons while ensuring that you have sufficient to spare. And you can see they did intercept my incoming missile.
Hit track.
But
7-0-1-2.
we did score a hit on something. So some things are burning. And let's look at our final wave. You can see because we spread our targets, we don't have a problem with the missiles accidentally hitting a dead target, because they're all spread out all over the formation. So some are being shot down, some will get through. Unfortunately, this one looks like it's going after a dead target. Is he gonna hit? Yeah, unfortunately this one got lured by a dead target, but never mind. The other one is proceeding. So a possible kill, possibly not. This one looks like a kill. So you can see they did pretty badly against our first wave. And now we're going to do the exact same thing over and over again until they're all dead, basically. So we start out with another strike package, anti-ship. See, these are returning to base, which is good, and we want to do all launch. And the same procedure, basically.
Contact faded. Track.
We wheel the aircraft out of the hangar bays. Modern context. Here we just slide them up on racks. If you're using a drone carrier, drones would be on racks and they just vertically take off. In this case, we're using old school aircraft carriers with old school fighters, so they have to roll up and take time to roll out.
On station.
Alright, so my first flight is on station. I do the exact same thing, which is
Roger. Go to altitude.
max altitude,
420. Roger.
go
Turn
here.
304.
And of course we enable
Surface
sensors,
search on. Radar eye.
and our formation is line abreast.
On station.
The exact same thing.
Roger. Go to altitude. 420. Roger. Turn 304.
And you can see that the fuel line is moving, so I do have more breathing room as I climb. So my efficiency is improving.
On station. Roger, go to altitude 420. Surface search on. Radar eye. Roger, turn 305.
Alright, so the first attack killed 3 ships essentially. So not bad. We killed 3 with 3 groups. Let's see if we can do a little better this time, and we'll spread it across. So we got enough to spread across every single ship in the fleet. So we're gonna lob at every single ship and see how far we get, basically. So let's increase this thing. While we're waiting for these guys to sink. Once they sink, they're no longer targets, so the missiles can't lose track. So we want these wrecks to sink as fast as possible. And so far it seems to be obliging, getting rid of them. So we should be able to kill most of these ships in the next wave. So let's see how it goes. There's our new groups launched. So let's speed up time.
Contact faded. Track.
And these things are gradually sinking, so that's good.
Contact faded. Track. Contact faded. Track.
So the group is still proceeding, which is normal. And we're waiting for nothing to happen, basically. They still have 2 functioning carriers. Looks like
Contact faded. Track.
warships are doing a bit of a circle to protect the carriers, just to act like a screening force, which is quite typical. So 2 carriers versus pretty much 1, but the difference is that we know where they are, so our information doctrine is better,
Track.
and we can reach them. If you can reach them, you can kill them.
Track.
So we wait.
Contact faded. Track. 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 Roger. Contact faded. Track. Contact faded. Track.
So now we're once again coming to
Contact
close
faded. Track.
range. So here's the part where we again do the same thing, rinse and repeat. So the first thing I'm going to do is enable radars for all.
Contact faded. Track.
So that way I have
Contact faded. Track.
at least overlapping coverage, if nothing else. Alright, so I do have overlapping coverage. Now I'm going to slow down time so you can see what's going on. To real time. And our first flight is in, so let's start doing the usual, which is distribute our missile load.
Engaging. Weapon away. Weapon away. Multiple. Hostile. Surface. Engaging track. Weapon away. Weapon away. Roger. Engaging track. 701. Weapon away. Weapon away. Engaging track. Weapon away. Weapon away.
So I have
Roger.
done this. Since these have no more munitions left, they're going to RTB automatically, return to base. So I don't need to care about ordering them back to base. You can see the mess that's here. So second lot, let's send them on their way.
Engaging. Weapon away. Weapon away. Roger. RTB. Engaging track. Weapon away. Weapon away. Roger. RTB. Engage track. 700. Weapon away. Weapon away. Engaging track. Roger. RTB. Weapon away. Weapon away. Roger. RTB.
So now we have a whole bunch of missiles going out. And a whole bunch of aircraft coming in. And these missiles are still miles up in the air, so they're coming down fast as they can manage to add to the wave. So now that I don't have a target, I'm going to have to wait a bit to get a little bit closer, not too much. But I don't want my missile carriers to be exposed to that should be enough. So let's start working on the rest.
Weapon away.
This guy is still a bit far out.
Roger. RTB.
So I'm going to follow up with aircraft carriers. Probably need a few more missiles to sink them. So let's lob a few.
Weapon away. Roger. RTB.
So let's give them a few more to deal with.
Weapon away. Roger. RTB.
And that's pretty much it. We are out of missiles. We have a pretty good set of loads coming out. So here's two sets. A couple of sets from here. and then we just pretty much let's see what happens. So you can see I've got groups of 4 coming in as opposed to 2. We can see the tracks of surface-to-air missiles.
Contacts detected.
But they're a lot less this time because of the
Multiple hostile air contacts detected.
reduced number of ships as well
Contact
as
faded. Track. Multiple hostile air contacts detected. Contact faded. Track. Multiple hostile air contacts detected. Multiple hostile air contacts detected. Multiple
stuff going out.
hostile air contacts detected. Contact faded. Track. Contact faded. Track. Multiple hostile air contacts detected. Multiple hostile hit track. 7005. Multiple hostile air contacts detected. Multiple hostile air contacts detected. Contact faded. Track. Multiple hostile air contacts detected. Contact faded. Track.
Second wave coming in. We killed 1, looks like it. Let's see what the second wave
Contact
can do.
faded. Track.
Maybe 2. Looks like we killed this guy as well. He looks a bit impressive. Let's see what wave 2 can do.
Multiple hostile air contacts detected.
These look like they're spreading out. This one unfortunately got suckered into
Multiple hostile air contacts detected.
dead ship, but never mind. It's still soaking up some fire, so that's good. We can keep soaking up some missile fire. Oh, looks like they missed, which is good. Now they'll retarget towards somebody else.
Hit track. 7003.
Missed. They are soaking up a lot of
Contact faded. Track.
this might be too far, but we shall see. This is a oiler versus 2 missiles at the end of their fuel life. Let's see how they do. They didn't. So round of fuel.
Hostile air contacts
This
detected.
one might get lucky if he has not got no
Contact
fuel.
faded. Track.
So looks like we did kill this guy. So we killed 2 more.
Contact faded. Track. Contact faded. Track.
And it's still soaking up missile spam from the ships, so we're depleting the missile inventories,
Contact faded.
which is a good thing.
Contact faded. Track.
And another way of going in. Fire outbound. Killed one, killed two. This one's pitching up. Maybe we'll get lucky. Did get lucky.
0, 1, 0.
Killed one. Still soaking up enemy fire, and we've lost track. So
Contact faded.
probably run out of fuel. These guys are going for this guy. Oh, they've been chaff. So they're going too high, and therefore they're gone. Alright, so we soaked up a bit of damage, so what we're going to do now, we have killed some more. We're going to do a little bit of cleanup on the board because there's so many targets. So what I'm going to do is get these guys to go over and say hello, because these guys also have missile inventory. So we're going to take a little bit of time and speed things along. Okay, and therefore we're going to go after the stragglers. So we're going to kill this guy. We're going to kill this guy.
7, 0, 1, 2. Salvo fire. Engage track 7, 0, 0. Whip it away. Whip it away. Whip it away. Whip it away.
And that just cleans up the board a little. And then I am going to, because I am a propeller plane, I'm going to run away.
Turn 0, 5, 1.
You can see this red arrow indication means they're being targeted by hostile radar. And we don't want that, we just want to go away and not be bothered. So I'm going to go away. You can see these missiles are doing the exact same thing, dropping in. And then we'll speed things along a little bit.
Contact faded. Track. On station.
And we can see the terminal phase. As long as they don't run out of fuel, which they should not, they should be able to mop up and do some mop-ups. The remaining ships. This is a military ship, but it's basically got no weapons to defend itself. So it's just basically a sitting duck.
Contact faded. Track.
You can See, these do have weapons to defend themselves, and they're going all out. That's gone. Let's see what this one does. Left trajectory to hit vertically. She's probably done. Yeah, she's done. Once those little life rafts come up, then you know it's pretty much game over. So the last one decided, yeah, it was gonna just because this one fired off chaff, so and it's been into non-existence. So if this doesn't run out of steam, it should be able to kill it. Yeah, still fighting back. Launches of a stern missile. Maybe he'll get lucky. Nope, it did get lucky. One more launch, too late, I think. And kill. And that didn't go into ballistic phase. This one's probably toast. May survive. It may not. So we have 2 aircraft carriers left and 1 destroyer of some sort. Let's have a look at it. Yeah, so that's Project 57A, which is a destroyer. And we have 2 aircraft carriers left. So time to kill them. Let's have a look at what we have left. Let's do rinse repeating of the same thing. Alright, so we have 2 on station. I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to do the exact same thing. Going to do the exact same thing. And let me see, we have all these set up. I'm going to repeat the process. Alright, so we have to wait for our things to come across. And then we're going to do the exact same thing, spread everything around and give the aircraft carriers help, basically.
Contact faded. Track. Contact faded. Track.
So we have 3 contacts left.
Contact faded. Track. Contact faded. Track.
So here we go.
Contact faded. Track. Contact faded. Track.
And what I'm going to do is get these guys to hammer the rest, and then these for the aircraft carriers.
Contact faded. Track.
And I do need to make sure they don't get too close,
Turn 30.
because I don't want to get nailed.
Roger. Turn 300.
So I'm going to spread them out a little bit. And you can see they are trying to target me now that they're woken up. But it's a bit late for that.
Contact faded. Track. Contact faded. Track. New surface contact detected. Track 7127 is classified. Hostile warship.
What I am going to do is distract them a lot by making sure I'm spread along the entire axis. So before I get too cocky, I will start launching. So we have this guy who's the furthest out. I'm going to give him 2
On station. Engaging. Whip it away.
so that distracts everybody.
Engage track 7010. Whip it away.
Meanwhile, I will now engage the aircraft carriers.
Salvo fire. Whip it away. Engaging track 7127. Salvo fire. Whip it away.
And that completes these guys.
Roger,
Gonna
RTB.
go away. We're going to engage these guys.
Whip it away. Engage track. Whip it away.
Engage.
Whip it away.
That gets rid of these guys.
Roger, RTB.
And then we're going to
Engaging track 7127. Salvo, whip it away.
now we got
Engaging track 7127. Salvo, whip it away.
and we're going to return to base.
Roger, RTB.
So all these are gone out of the way. We have a set of missiles. Which are nicely heading down to the sea surface. Make sure all of these are on RTB, return to base. Alright. Let's see how missiles do. First is just a distraction set, so we'll see how they do. Maybe they'll do well. Distraction for the destroyer, so. And for the aircraft carriers, of course. First batch is inbound. They're going to start reacting now. Now's the time to react. There's one. And there they go. It started reacting. Getting distracted. Missiles flying out. So you can sneak by them.
Hit track 70.
Oh, looks like an aircraft carrier got hit. Oh, that's the second one which got hit.
Contact faded. Track.
Let's have a look at this destroyer who's still surviving. About to be taken out. Doesn't respond in time. That's not a destroyer, it's actually the aircraft carrier. Oh, starting to react. Safest to air launch. Distraction from chaff. Some random missile spam. This one's gone. Be distracted.
Hit track 7001.
Another launch. I guess I didn't distract him enough. Alright, so that one's a hit, maybe a kill. We don't know. Last bunch coming in. Oh, looks like one carrier went down. It's got too badly beaten up to survive. So our missiles are basically useless since they're going after Dead Hulk. If you get lucky, then they might just ignore the dead target, which is sinking, and go after the live one. Nope, no luck there. Find something to kill other than the sinking destroy. Oh, no luck. Just into the ocean they go.
7127.
Alright, well, that didn't do anything useful. This one's pretty much dead, but possibly might be alive, so we're going to do a little mop-up, which is same deal here.
Contact faded. Track.
Oh, looks like we did kill that guy. So he's dead too. He's dead. I believe that mops up everybody, so let's have a look. Let's see, get in there.
156.
Let's take a look. Meantime, how are we doing here? Yep, we are taking off, so let's
On station.
see how we
Roger.
go there.
Turn 161. Roger. Turn 173.
Okay, so we're just doing a little survey of the area. If there's anything still alive, we'll see it.
On station.
And that's it, there's nothing else left alive down there. Alright, so let's see how we did. Yep, pretty much this is a victory, killed every single thing out there with 0 losses. And that's how to kill ships.